Hello, you're welcome to this reflection on massive online organic cows. And I'm sure the title itself is fascinating, but when I reflect on it and give the summary of what the presenter did, you will get to understand what actually he meant by that. After that, I'll tell you what I've learned and what I plan to do. Now, the presenter Ronnie talked about himself as an educator, a student, etc. He said he taught in China. So briefly, we say Ronnie is a teacher or educator, a student, comedian, podcast host, chef, marketer, and a personal brand. He spoke briefly on branding and how teachers can brand themselves. And this recorded version of the presentation was good. I watched it, and when the presenter was presenting, I was thinking aloud that can human being brand him or herself? But I realized that as a teacher, you can brand so that you be known with what you're doing in a particular area of your study. He listed the objectives of his presentation. He talked briefly about some personalities like Kofi Amwabi from Ghana, where I come from. He explained what personal branding is. He gave some examples that are not personal branding, and an example is personal business cards. And you see people with complimentary cards, place you want to take the person's number, so can you have my complimentary card? To me, I thought it was branding, but at a hindsight, I realized that no, it's a normal kind of somebody knowing you. He said that personal brand is a person's gut feeling about you. So you can have a personal feeling about somebody, then that person has his or her own brand. He went on to describe how he used podcasts. He talked about how branding helps. He said as a teacher you need to be a little bit different from other teachers. For example, some of us use technology in our instruction, so I can say that I've been branding myself unknowingly. He spoke on how we can be different from others. He mentioned some model features that you can use that could differentiate you from others. For instance, he mentioned forum. He also talked on differentiation and value. He said, for instance, people will like you who you are. That is being authentic or being yourself, he explained further. And I think it's true to some extent that you don't need to pretend. You be the one that you are, not what people think of you. He showed in the video how you could be found. Some examples that he gave include your domain, maybe your website, social media profiles, maybe for example Facebook and the likes, podcasting, video. For example, you put a profile about you on YouTube, etc. The presenter spoke about networking too, and I think it is very necessary to have people in other parts of this world learn about the way they go about, especially their teaching, and you can also adapt some. He said the biggest risk is not taking one, and this is amazing. I hope people who fear to take risks, maybe they can move on to the next level. He paused for question. What do you do to be you? He asked that question also, and later on he said that do not care about what people think of you, and continue that you have to act in a normal way. When a question was asked about putting a course on podcast on Wiz IQ, he said he will not mind. Some people posted in the chat about Ronnie's beer. He was having a long beer, and he said because of the weather. He also said sometimes he does not shave for 4 or 5 days. He spoke about the weather there also. He said one could put materials for students to download using BitTorrent. Oh, sorry for the one here. He talked about secrets also. He said if you talk about all secrets, then there will be no secret. Dr. Nelly thanked Ronen for his presentation. Lessons learned. I'll put this in a prose form. I thought personally that branding is only for marketers, but after watching the video, I can now change my orientation that branding can be done anywhere under this sign, including teaching. I have enjoyed the presenter's explanation of personal branding that speaks for itself, not you demanding for it by using complementary cards. And also I've learned that being different from other teachers must be a hallmark for every teacher who wants to brand himself or herself. What I will do in the near future. Branding myself will start as soon as possible, especially teaching that involves some portion that could be put online for learners to follow. I will also not follow the status quo of branding, which involves giving out complimentary cards to people to know what I'm doing, but rather let my teaching speak for itself. I also hope to inculcate teacher branding in the young lecturers in my university. Thanks for watching.